There you go.
There we are. I just had to shut everything down and open it again.
That's all right. What the
Just
hell,
like
man?
work. I can't tell what you're seeing, but I can see you, so that's good enough, right?
I don't know what color your pajamas are, man, but yeah, they're looks like you're nude, just wearing a biker jacket or something.
Well, this is an undershirt, and
Yeah.
yeah, I had to make a quick BEERRUN, and
Yeah. Oh yeah. Here's
it's
to you,
about
brother.
6 inches of snow at the moment, and
Six?
yeah, well, it was 5 to 7 according to the local news, and I didn't actually go out and measure it or anything. But
You didn't like go in there and like stick your dick in. It's like, it's about six.
I mean, I have done that, but not today.
I
Not
made a
as
lot of
spry
yellow
as I
snow
used to be.
yesterday. Yeah, I was making some yellow snow yesterday. I guess we got about 2 inches of accumulation. Is that what it is? Cheers, brother.
I see prints back there.
Yeah, yeah. It's like a towel that somebody gave me when I moved to St. Augustine. So, but I just put them in it's like Afro prints, obviously.
Yeah, his final days really.
Yeah,
The-
yeah. And he got that little looks like the little mustache that probably Eddie Allen may have had whenever he was in high school, something like that.
I think we all did. All teenage boys had the little mascara
Oh,
mustache.
real quick before I ask you some questions.
Yeah,
Oaklandish. It's Oakland with an ish. All right. Uh trying to figure out like when the first time we actually talked as people. I mean, I vaguely remember you in Biloxi or somewhere like that at a band clinic. Is that
sure.
right?
Oh, I remember multiple times. How do you put it? Um,
You were very forgettable, I guess, because I was a cocky son bitch.
well, you were a little rock star, and I mean little rock star. Running around, and I was kind of shy to myself, probably, more or less. And you were this little guy running around with a little tie on with the piano keys on it,
Oh yeah.
and like all these, everywhere I went, you were there, and I'm like, this guy is hilarious. It's like, even though we barely spoke to each other in these shindigs, crossings, uh, you were impressing me with all the things, your accomplishments because in my mind you're like 6 years old, and little
I
did
was a
I know you
squirt,
were only
man.
like two
I don't
years
even know if I
behind
was
me.
5 feet tall yet.
And I remember specifically at state band clinic down there in Biloxi, standing outside listening because I wanted to hear, like, this guy is such a character. I've got to hear what he can do. And as everybody else had disappeared, I stood outside and I listened, and I heard you playing, and I was like, this guy is good. And I went back and told all the other like, that kid with the tie that was running around here making all the jokes and everything, he's legit. And then it turned out like you were like number two overall or something, as a
Yeah.
as a freshman or something.
Yeah, what's your favorite like, when it comes to modes? Like, you had the Mixolydian, the Lydian, the Aeolian. What's your favorite mode?
Allah. No, I, I actually, I was never a mode guy. Because
Really?
I don't even consider myself a player. And we've talked
Yeah.
about this. Like,
Yeah.
I'm like, you guys, Dane, you, Roger, everybody from back in the day were musicians, and I
Yeah.
was just, in my mind, was a kid on acoustic writing songs.
Yeah. My
And
favorite mode, my favorite mode was always Libby Dito.
I see. You're going a whole different direction. I thought
I
you were
set
talking
you up,
theory too. You're
son.
just setting up for a punchline.
I was setting you up.
I'm trying to give a legitimate interview for you, and you're using me as the straight guy for your punchlines.
Yeah. Well, back to it. Phrygian is my favorite, but anyway,
Yeah,
enough of that.
I have heard
Yeah,
you
enough
say
of
it
that.
before. Yeah, I couldn't tell you one mode. I can hear one mode from another. I couldn't play one.
Yeah,
My son, as you know, Davis, my kid Davis is
yeah.
far advanced from me in as far as playing goes. At 17 now, can I mean I almost don't even want to touch a guitar anymore because he's so good at it and writes stuff that embarrasses me as far like
Don't worry, dude. Your kids, man, all of them are going to be taller than ass.
oh, they're yeah. Well, Davis and Grant are both over 6 feet.
Yeah,
Eight is 11 years old, and she's like 5'6". She's,
yeah.
I mean, she's like this on me
I
already.
showed my folks that picture of her with her friends. It's like it looks like she was the mom making the PB and J's for the
Yeah,
overnight sleepover. You know, no, she's going to the same sleepover.
yeah,
Oh man. Uh, so anyhow, I like what Jonathan's doing with all of that stuff, that engraving and all of that, man. That's some crazy shit.
yeah.
It's
He's
pretty.
Jonathan. Like whatever he decides he gets into, he goes into it full steam, and he just perfects it. Um, and over the years has done many things. He bounces one from one thing to the next, but it's like whatever it is at that time that he's into, you can expect you're going to get world class output out of it. I mean,
I think
whatever
he may have
this
had the first
engraving stuff is, that like I don't even fully understand it, but it looks awesome.
yeah. He was the first guy that had like an MP3 player, I think, when he
Oh
was
yeah,
living down
like
there.
30 years ago in the 90s.
Yeah, he was playing it through his car or something when we went to go get a Christmas tree for his apartment.
Yeah, yeah, we're all gonna run down to the store or something. He's like, "Well, hold on, let me put 10 songs on this thing. It'll hold 10." We're like, "What is that?" Oh, it's just it's a Rio Diamond. Like Diamond Rio, the country band? No. It's the Rio Diamond. Like, what is that?
Isn't
It's
that a band? Diamond. What was the band?
Diamond Rio. Oh, they were a great country
Diamond
band. I
Rio. Yeah.
actually worked with them for a little while.
Yeah. Elise,
Really good player.
apparently the company or the label she works for just bought all of the Don Williams catalog. And
Who label did?
who?
Who did you say?
Oh, Don Williams.
No. Who, I thought you said somebody's label, and I just didn't hear what you said.
Oh, no. Elise's label that she works for.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I saw her recently, she gave me like a Don Williams T-shirt and a Don Williams koozie. Of course, I gave the Don Williams koozie to a friend of mine who truly loves Don Williams, like loves Don Williams, knows his almost his entire catalog. But anyway, Don Williams, man, he was a hell of a songwriter. The end. Nice hat.
I mean, oh yeah. Well, yeah. Anytime I not feeling great about my hair, I wear a
Ah,
hat.
Jesus, son.
You know,
Yeah, that
I had
cat.
to run
You
to the
look better
public.
without the cat hat. Now
Cat
you
hat.
look, yeah, you're
Say,
repping the shit, huh? Repping your
you know,
company. Yeah.
I it is my employer, but I would just choose a black hat if I had one laying available.
Hey, what was the first instrument you played?
Um, this one. It's funny that you asked.
A guitar?
My dad bought me this when I was about 6 years old. It's completely
Wow.
busted up and not playable, but I've kept it. It's
Yeah.
but that I started messing around with a guitar at that age, and he basically was trying to train me to back him up because he was a fiddle player, and needed, as the other siblings were aging out, needed somebody to back him up so he could play. And
It like that's why you came along. He's like, well, got to have one more because
yeah,
they all
that
grown up now.
I mean that really is. But yeah,
Instead of like having a bunch of kids to work the farm, he needed a bunch of kids to back him up in music.
it's and but both really. I mean, I was a slave laborer on brick jobs for many years, and guitar player play for him to fiddle on, and yeah. But after like a couple of years into it, I lost interest because it was a whole really probably three generations difference, at least two in age, and so I was into different music and kind of lost interest and I dropped playing guitar and didn't pick it up again until, well, probably around the time that you and I started hanging out in college. I started tinkering with it a little bit again,
Yeah,
and from then on, it was. I mean, now I can't even imagine life without a guitar, but
yeah. Uh,
it's you know,
what? How old were you when you were like dropping the beat in the bathtub with two
yeah,
cassette recorders? Am I
yeah.
right there?
I around 11, 12 years old, I started.
Oh,
I
by the way,
discovered Run
you were right. It
DMC.
was really sad when the Fat Boys broke up.
Yes. They never actually broke up. That's just a line I use all the time. But
Yeah, they just kind of died.
they're all dead now. But
Yeah, their A1C
yeah,
was not quite where it needed to be, you know.
it is funny though that I mean, like it was early '80s, and I was 11, 12 years old, and got into all that early rap music, and that is where I really got interested in rock music because it was Run DMC with all the riff based
Oh yeah.
down and
Yeah.
I got into
My
guitar that way.
Adidas. Okay. I just went to my Adidas. It's just something.
It's like, well, while all the other kids were into what we eventually called hair metal, like I wasn't into that. Somebody's banging around here, but so I was into the rap music. I was the black kid, according the other kids in my high school. But
You were the wigger, man.
yeah, but that's what got me into the rock and those kids that were into the hair metal stuff back then are probably actually listening to rap now. So the
Right?
the world has turned around.
It's a weird Mobius, you know, some weird donut, Mobius donut of sorts, I guess. Yeah. Um, dude, we started what's that guy's name? Dan? You and Dan used to play guitar and stuff. Uh, is that guy's name at Southern Miss? Like when
Dan
I
Hen-
first met you, huh?
Dan Welburn.
Welburn, yeah, yeah. He played
Yeah,
French horn, didn't he? I can't remember.
yeah, he did, and we had like a weekly Elvis night, if you can imagine, which was a lot of fun. Honestly, we put on he'd have like a blue light or something, turn all the lights off, and we just had these weird lights and just listen to old Elvis records and kind of had like, well, we would be drunk and whatever, but we just having like the old just we were kids, honestly, but we were having these in-depth
He
discussions.
always seemed like
Elvis is like,
he was 20 years older than everybody for some
yeah,
reason. He had that weird aura about him. I could be wrong, but okay, now that gets me to a question.
yeah.
I think you told me, but so was that when you became Naked Elvis?
uh well, people were calling me Elvis because I would, kind of mimic Elvis, and I had the sideburns and the hair and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Um, but the naked Elvis became because I would just at the drop of a hat just get butt naked and go running around somewhere. Uh, and so I mean, you take the naked, you took the Elvis, and you put it together, and yeah, I mean,
I don't know why all of these things that I've been doing to like help when I get dementia, but it always ends up going back to like those like years at Southern Miss.
oh,
you know, it's like when I was
that
talking with Dane and Roger, and separately. That stuff kind of came up, and then Eddie a little bit with you, but and this is gonna all right. This is a great story. This was not. I knew you were an underwear bandit at one point, but
so there you go.
one of my favorite times is I was living in Elam Arms, and Jonathan was going to school there at the time, and you were over, I think, Hermitage Apartments, possibly. And then somebody knocked on my door, and I opened it, and there's this huge fucking turd just right outside my door. And
Yeah,
I
I was
believe
there.
Jonathan. I don't believe Jonathan did that. I could be wrong.
Yeah,
Uh, all signs say yes. It was Jonathan.
Jonathan. Yeah, and the thing that was not his first turd of the night. Uh, it's
I remember our RA coming in. It's like, does somebody not like you? It's like, no, I don't know what happened here.
yeah, he decided to squeeze one out right in front of your door, and then
It
knocked
was
on it.
Hardy.
We
Yeah,
took off running and ran into the stairwell and grabbed the fire extinguisher and set it
that's
off.
it.
And just the alarms are going off. Everybody's chasing us. The campus security is chasing us in a car. We're on foot and we're running, and we made it to my apartment and we're looking out the window while they're all sitting there like going through the parking lot. And the thing was, I was on probation for a legit,
You were. I was. That's
yeah,
like,
like if they get me, I'm going to prison.
and here's the son of a bitch. Like just a few, like a week or two after you got on probation, we ended up getting thrown in jail together.
I had
Coming up on
just
this
got
weekend.
off probation and we get arrested.
Oh my god, I can't believe it's coming up on 31 years, man. That's
Yeah,
fucking nuts.
94. January
Yeah.
94. Yeah.
Oh Lord.
It was the
Oh
first
man.
Martin Luther King Jr. holiday, the very first one that was ever,
Really?
you know, that distinguished by the federal government or whatever.
Yeah. Well, we did it well, didn't we?
Yes.
We memorialized old MLJK. What I don't know, MLK, MLK Jr. Yeah, we did a
MLKJ.
good
Yeah.
job there. We just got drunk and put in jail. We got treated like black people. What's wrong with that? They arrested us and took us to jail. We didn't do anything wrong, really. Is that
We were there
wrong? Oh,
bank robbers, but we had our a cell each. It was interesting. We had our own private
yeah,
cell.
yeah. I was telling my folks about that over Christmas. It's like they did us pretty good. It's like two young, stupid kids. We could literally see the county line.
Yeah,
Oh my gosh. Well, anyway,
yeah.
we've that's a story I won't need to have memorialized in this YouTube shit because that'll always be with me no matter what. Anyway, so you doing all right? You doing well? You
Good
living
enough.
it? Huh?
Good enough. I mean, I've had a rough little stretch, with just stuff happening, but
I'd say you
you know,
have. Yeah, yeah,
yeah. But it'll be all right.
yeah. Did did what? How old are you when you lost your virginity?
I don't know. I'm sure my family will be watching this at some point, so I'll just keep that one to myself.
Well, I mean, obviously it was Aubrey was your first.
We'll go with that.
Yep. Dude, let me see. The second person I ever had sex with, I met, she was a French horn player at Southern Miss, but she wasn't a music major. And the apartment you were living in, that little studio apartment you were living in, actually the first time I ever heard Simple Man, I thought it was a Hank Jr. song. We were listening to Hank Jr.
Yeah.
live. and I kind of gave her like a yeah, in the band, and then I don't know. I think she was friends with Amanda or something like that.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. She was a yeah, Amanda's friend because we Amanda and I were coming in from a date and walking through her parking lot or something and saw that girl's vehicle and noticed it was like rocking.
Yeah, that was probably me.
Yeah.
She was an art major. Now that I think about it, because she had a lot of art in the back of her. I don't know. She had like a Chevy Blazer or something like that.
Was
But
her name Jennifer? I don't know. I can
I
see her
can't
face.
remember. Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
it was
So
over 30 years ago. Man, isn't that crazy?
that's fucked up, dude. Yeah, like when I was thinking about like 25 years ago, living in Gala Vista and all that shit, it's like, dang, like
Oh, we had some
that.
wild times there.
There were some times, man. I mean, I still like not all the time, but it's like, yeah, because I'll tell people like when I moved to Nashville, I lived in a trailer at the KOA campground with this guy
Yeah.
named John Kennedy, and he's like a trailer with a guy named after the president. It's like, no, he wasn't named after the president. That's just his last
Just
name
his
was
name.
Kennedy, and his dad named him John or something. I don't know. That's who I'm actually going to see next Saturday.
Yeah.
Uh, Kennedy and Brentwood. Uh, I'm coming to play like a little bass line or something like that. And I don't know. Him and Joel Hamilton. Did you met Joel a few times?
I
I
I
think.
he played guitar at the Echo Lounge back in the day.
Yeah,
Or
yeah,
yeah, okay, yeah.
yeah. So anyway, what's the whole point of this? Where am I going with this shit? Oh yeah, it was
You
Kyle.
moved over from his house to mine.
Yeah, yeah. It was Kyle, Thump, me, and you. There was a bed, a cot in the kitchen. Kyle slept on the couch. Then me and you had our own rooms, and I had like a little futon. You were the only one with an actual bed out of the four of us.
and uh and you had sex in it more than I did probably because every time I'd come into the house, I go into my bedroom and
That
you'd be
is
in there with somebody.
Amy Dunn.
Yeah. Oh, we're giving out names here, but
Yeah. Oh, it makes no difference. She's got that was her maiden name. Nobody will be able to figure out her where she is now, Brentwood.
well,
Yeah.
we basically we were running a frat house there in our
Oh
20s.
gosh.
It
Yeah.
was it was some wild and I mean we were in a band and we were playing and it was just wild all the time. Our jobs
We
were
were.
secondary, you know.
I think about that time that apparently Bob was hanging out in that garbage can waiting for me to get there, and I was running late, and he was in that can for I don't know how long. He was in the garbage can waiting to scare me. And I probably showed
Yeah.
up like 3 minutes after he got out of the garbage can. It's like, fuck this. Where is that boy? Ah, yeah. Those are some good times, man. The fucking temple. Have you driven past there to see if the temple's still there?
It when I sold that house, they tore it down like
Oh, did
first
they?
thing when they completely rehabbed that house and then sold it for like 5 times what I more than that. I mean it was probably 6 or 7 times what I sold it to them for. But that's Nashville. I mean it's this place is you can't even buy a rinky dink shack for $500,000 now.
Yeah, my favorite house that Kelly and I ever owned was there in Nashville. I can't remember where it was, but it had that little lot in the back. The train ran past it. That was the worst part about it. But we put it on the market, and this was, I don't know, it makes no difference. Definitely over a decade. No pictures or nothing. And we had like three offers the day that it went up on, up for sale. And so it was like a bidding war on it. We'd only owned the house for like a year. We rented it for a year and then bought it. And the next thing you know, I mean, we sold it, made a huge profit off of it. But yeah, what the hell, man? like when you finally move back down to Mississippi, you sell your place. My gosh, man, you're gonna be selling your place for like 750, one
Well,
mil.
that's what I would, we'd have to, I'd have to get my wife on the same page with me to do that because she loves our neighborhood and doesn't ever want to leave here, and it
Oh
is a
yeah.
great neighborhood, but I mean, my home is that place there, and
Yeah.
we will see. I mean, I will have
Hey
something down
man,
there, whether I
some
live
people
there or
have
not.
two
I'll have a
homes.
place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'll be one of those rich son bitches. You got your Mississippi vacation home and your home in Nashville. You could do both.
Well, I mean, I would have to keep my job to do that, and I just
Yeah.
I, don't-
Build
I
a
can't
house,
do
I'll
this a
take
whole
care of
lot
it. I'll be
longer.
the caretaker. Yeah. Hey, the Invisible Man's fucking Wonder Woman on the beach, and the Superman's he's flying over, and he's like, "Oh, there's Wonder Woman sitting there butt naked on the beach. I think I'm going to go down and get a quickie." And so he just flies down, he's like, "Dah," flies off, and Wonder Woman goes, "What was that?" And the Invisible Man says, "I don't know, but my ass hurts."
Yeah,
Get it?
I do. These are jokes we were telling when we were like 8 and 9 years old. So,
I know it, but
uh,
I love that shit. Or I could say I was fucking this guy in the ass, right? That's when we were 11 or 12. 8 and 9 was, the Invisible Man getting fucked in the ass. 11 and 12 was like I was fucking a guy in the ass.
yeah, I very well remember being told that Wonder Woman Invisible Man joke when I was a little kid, and so I'm
It was
thinking,
a
is he
good
going to
one.
put a twist on it, or is he going to still tell this 40-year-old
Nah,
joke?
you got to keep it simple, man, sometimes. Libby Dito. Oh, man. Hey,
Yeah.
what we got about? Yeah, we just got about 3 or 4 more minutes. What you doing back there? Getting you a beer?
Yes, sir.
Awesome. Thanks for letting me come up next week. Spend a Friday with y'all.
Yes, sir. You
Yes,
said you
sir.
get in
Yes,
around
sir.
11.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I'll probably get out of here. It's about 5 hours. I'll probably get out of here
This is
uh,
where you'll.
at some point.
This is the couch here in what used to be the studio. Uh,
I do. I think maybe I've been on that couch. I don't know.
Probably. Well, it may have been in a different room at some point. While we recording for probably other people to see it, let me show you. So Roger Sigelski built me this guitar.
Yeah,
He
he wanted me to buy one of his. I just couldn't afford it at the time. I'm going to get one eventually.
he's really good at what he does. This is one of
Yeah.
the best playing guitars I've ever touched. um, and I mean, this is my one guitar that I have experienced and so I'm basing that everything he does is perfect. But this one, this is great, and I would, I want to have all my guitars made by Roger going forward.
You
Uh,
kissing his ass because he said some nice things about you when I talked to
I did. I watched that video just a little while ago. But
him.
this I had this one custom built for me several years ago. The thing is, I'm in here talking like I'm this guitar player. I don't even play.
Hey, what would you say you're most proud of? Songwriting, guitar playing, producing, mixing, or mastering?
Um, what I feel that I'm the best at. I even though most people would consider mixing and mastering completely different arts, and no the engineers who do each can't do both. I feel like mixing and mastering I can do. Um, I love mixing. Like that is my thing. Like, and I would, and that's why I always tell. Like, I've begged Roger to send me tracks. It won't cost him a thing. I'll do it for free because I just love doing it. And it doesn't matter how much money I could make doing it for other folks or whatever. I knew Roger. I want to take, like he sent some stuff that he did. I'm like, give me those tracks and let me show you how good that could sound. Um, I want to do that for him, and then mastering. I feel like at this point, honestly, AI is probably better mastering than a lot of engineers are.
Oh, geez,
But
AI scares the shit out of me. It
uh,
scares the ever living shit out of me
yeah,
because I mean, you can do if you have a paid AI program, even first generation, you can say play something that sounds like Pantera, Miami Vice style, and then 15 minutes later, you've got vocals, you've got like a clean, solid sound. I mean, you could tell there's no like any love in it or anything like that. But then shit, there's some bands that got no love in it and sound exactly like that. So what can you do? Oh, look, I got me a little
MIDI
studio
controller.
I'm trying to start up. So I got me like a little MIDI keyboard.
Yeah.
Uh, I don't know. I'm screwing around with some stuff. The first thing I'm going to record is dun 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 dun, puts away your makeup. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun
Buck.
dun dun dun. You remember that song?
Buck.
I don't know. I don't think you ever recorded it. I could be wrong.
Yeah,
Maybe you
Buck.
did.
It's called
Huh?
Buck.
Huh?
It's called Buck.
Huh.
Blah, da, 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 blah, da, 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 da,
That's
dum, dum,
right. Was that that guy's
blah, dum.
name? His name was Buck, or we just called him Buck?
We called him Buck. We didn't even know what his name was. Buck was just a complete disregard for whatever his name was. So,
Yeah, yeah, that is true. All right. Well, we're running up on it, boy. I wish we could have done this on Meet, but I don't know. Well, I'm an idiot. I'm new at this bullshit. So, in time. Hey, you want to shoot the shit in a little bit, or
sure.
you gonna go to bed or whatnot?
I, no,
Did you
I'm
just
up.
fart?
No, I was hearing. I was thought Davis might have been playing guitar. I was hearing something.
Oh, all right, all right. Is he like delivering pizza?
Oh, he doesn't deliver them. He makes them. He's not old
Oh
enough to
shit.
deliver.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I may order some Domino's next weekend.
That'd be funny. Go pick it up live at the drive-through.
Yeah. All right, boy. Well, I love you more than everything.
Me too.
You are and will always be my best friend no matter what, man. You love you, man.
Love you too, son.
All right.
Oh, you're
Pro
cutting. All right.
Oh no, I'm about to cut you off. Yeah, I'll cut you off. Yeah, I'm hoping for my dementia because these are all fun conversations.
The head is
All right, go
Kazan.
fuck yourself. Later, boy. Love you.